you're breathing. That means you're still fighting. And if you're still fighting, then fear hasn't won. Panic hasn't claimed you. You're still here standing, shaking maybe, but still here. That alone makes you powerful beyond measure. You may not feel it right now, but strength isn't about feeling, it's about staying. And you've stayed. There is a lie that panic tries to sell you. It whispers that this is permanent. That you will always feel this way. That this trembling, this racing heart, this crushing weight on your chest, this is your new forever. But it's not. It never has been, and it never will be, because fear has a lifespan. Panic has limits. They do not go on forever, and they cannot survive in the face of persistence. You may have heard the phrase, "This too shall pass," and you've probably doubted it. Because when the walls feel like they're closing in and your mind becomes a storm, it's hard to believe that there's anything on the other side of it. But even the longest night eventually breaks into morning. Even the fiercest wave crashes and pulls back. You are not trapped in this forever. You are simply passing through. Your heart is racing, your breath may be shallow. Your thoughts may be spinning, but underneath it all, you are safe. You are not broken. What you're experiencing is a response, not a reflection of your worth. This isn't weakness. This is the body's way of reacting to stress, to fear, to overload. And guess what? It means your body is working. It's trying to protect you. That's not failure. That's survival. You're not falling apart, sure, holding on in the only way you know how. And holding on is brave, even when you don't see it, even when it feels like you're losing. There is a courage in simply not giving up, in choosing to keep breathing, in deciding that this moment won't be your end. Because it won't. You've lived through every panic attack you've ever had. Every episode, every spiral, every anxious night survived. You've come through darker days than this, even if your mind tries to erase that truth. You made it before, you'll make it again. Fear wants you to believe that this feeling will never end, that you'll always be stuck in this loop of panic, doubt, and exhaustion. But feelings are not facts. Emotions are not forever. They rise, they fall, they pass. This wave will crash too. You just need to ride it, not fight it, not fear it. Just breathe through it. Let it come. Let it go. And while you do, remember, you are not alone. There are people all around this world who have felt what you're feeling, who have cried in silence, who have clenched their fists trying to stay grounded, who have wondered if they were losing their minds. But they weren't, and neither. Are you? This experience may be terrifying, but it is not uncommon. You are part of a hidden strength, millions of quiet warriors who choose to stay, to heal, to live. Right now, your mind may be telling you 1,000 lies. That you're weak, that you're a burden, that no one understands, that you'll never feel peace again. But your mind in panic mode is not a reliable narrator. It's not telling the whole story. Because the truth is, you've already made it farther than you think. You've already survived what once felt unsurvivable. That proves that what you're feeling now is not the end. It's a moment, a wave, a ripple in a much bigger ocean. You are not drowning. You're learning to swim, and with each breath, you're gaining ground. Each second you stay in this moment without giving up is a small, silent victory. These victories stack. They matter. They become momentum, and momentum becomes healing. You're not stuck. You're growing even in discomfort, even in fear, even in panic. Especially in panic. Because panic doesn't mean stop, it means listen. And maybe this is the moment where you finally do. Listen to the truth that anxiety has tried to mute for years. You are capable. You are strong. You are not broken. And this is not the end. Let this be your beginning. Let this be the page you turn. Let this moment of fear become the spark that ignites change. Not because fear disappears instantly, but because you stop letting it define what's possible for you. You are bigger than your panic. You are louder than your fear. And your life, your full, rich, beautiful life is waiting on the other side of this storm. So breathe, right here, right now. You've got this, and you always have. Fear is clever. Panic is loud. Together, they create chaos, convincing, overwhelming, and relentless. But just because fear speaks loudly doesn't mean it speaks truth. And just because panic shows up suddenly doesn't mean it controls what happens next to truly move forward. You must understand what you are dealing with. You are not cursed. You are not broken. You are facing a biological response, not a character flaw. You are not at war with yourself. You are facing an enemy that uses your own mind as its battlefield. But when you understand the enemy, you take away its power. Fear thrives in confusion. Panic feeds on misunderstanding. When your heart races, your chest tightens. Your thoughts spin out of control. It feels like danger is near. But the danger is imagined, not real. The panic is not about what's happening around you. It's about how your brain is interpreting it. And those interpretations, they're often wrong. They're not based on evidence. They're based on emotion. That's how fear tricks you. Panic tells you you can't breathe when you are breathing. It tells you you're dying when you are not. It tells you you're going to lose control when in reality, you've never been more aware. These messages feel real, but they are not accurate. Your body is reacting to a false alarm. It's like a fire alarm going off in a room where there's no fire, loud, terrifying, demanding your attention, but ultimately, there is no danger. And once you understand that, the alarm loses its grip. Fear is not evil. It was designed to protect you. It evolved to keep you alert, to save you from harm. But in panic, that protection system becomes overactive. It begins to see threats where there are none. It begins to scream when a whisper would do. And when that happens, your job is not to fight fear, but to retrain it. To teach it that you are not under threat, that you are safe, and that your world is not falling apart. You don't overcome fear by ignoring it. You overcome it by facing it with truth. You don't defeat panic by resisting it. You weaken it by understanding it. This is not about overpowering your mind. It's about gently correcting it. It takes time. It takes patience. But the change begins the moment you stop believing that fear is your master. It's not. Fear is a signal. That's all. A flare in the sky, not a flood you have to drown in. And when you learn to interpret the signal not as danger, but as a moment to slow down, you take the first step toward freedom. Understanding. The enemy means realizing that panic is not personal. It's not targeting you because you're weak, or because you've done something wrong. It's just a reflex, a short circuit, a message misfired. The system that's meant to protect you is firing too often, too urgently, but that system can be rewired. It can be calmed, can be changed, and you are the one who gets to do it. It's not by force, not by pretending it isn't there, but by meeting it with compassion and clarity. Fear says, you're unsafe. You respond, I hear you, but I'm okay. Panic says, you can't handle this. You respond, I've handled worse, and I'm still here. Anxiety says, this will never end. You respond, everything ends. Even this. You are not at the mercy of fear. You are not a victim of panic. You are the observer. You are the thinker. You are the one who gets to choose what happens next. And yes, fear may still speak. Panic may still come. But the volume lowers when you stop reacting in terror and start responding in truth. The enemy doesn't vanish, but it loses its power. It becomes smaller, quieter, less convincing. And eventually, you begin to move through your days without bracing for battle. Understanding the enemy doesn't just help you survive panic it. Helps you transform it. From a monster in the dark to a signal in the mind. From a prison to a classroom. From chaos to clarity. And when you see fear for what it truly is, the illusion crumbles. What once controlled you becomes something you control, and that shift subtle, powerful, unshakably's the beginning of peace. There's something you need to hear, clearly, firmly, and without hesitation. You are not your anxiety. You may feel it. You may fight it. You may carry it with you day after day. But it is not who you are. It's something you experience, not something you become. Anxiety wants you to forget this. It wants to blur the lines between what you feel and who you are. It creeps into your self-image, whispering that your fears define you, that the panic is your identity, that the constant overthinking, the worry, the doubt it all means there's something wrong with you at your core. But that's the lie. That's the trap. You are a human being experiencing anxiety. Just like a person may experience sadness, frustration, exhaustion, or anger. These are emotional states, not character traits. Not definitions. You are not anxiety. You are the awareness. Behind it, you are the calm beneath the surface, even when the waves are crashing overhead. The truth is, anxiety often affects the strongest people. The most thoughtful people. The ones who feel deeply, care deeply, and think deeply. Anxiety is not weakness, it's intensity. It's sensitivity dialed too high. It's the mind working overtime, the heart trying too hard to protect you. That might feel overwhelming, but it also means you're capable of incredible strength, awareness, and transformation. Anxiety will try to convince you that it's all-consuming, that it owns you, that you can't be trusted, that you can't be free, that you'll never be stable again. But these are distortions. Your anxiety is not your identity. It's a chapter in your story, and chapters end. They evolve. They transform. You may say, but I have anxious thoughts all the time. Yes, you do. But thoughts are not truths. Thoughts are not facts. You are not obligated to believe every single thing your anxious mind offers you. You have the ability to pause, to observe, and to choose. You are the thinker, not the thought. There's a powerful shift that happens when you stop saying, I am anxious, and instead say, I'm feeling anxiety. Do you feel the difference? One statement makes anxiety your identity. The other makes it a temporary experience. One pins it to your chest. The other holds it at arm's length and says, this is something I'm moving through. And you are moving through it. Every single day that you keep showing up, even when your hands are shaking. Every time you take a breath instead of running. Every moment you choose to stay grounded when your thoughts want to spiral, you are stepping further away from identification and closer to freedom. Anxiety may tell you that you're too much, too sensitive, too broken. But anxiety isn't qualified to make those judgments. It doesn't see clearly. It doesn't have the full picture. It doesn't see the courage it takes for you to get out of bed when your chest is heavy. It doesn't see the strength it takes to face the world when your mind is screaming at you. It doesn't understand that even when you're at your lowest, you're still fighting, and that is strength. You are not too much. You are enough. You are not broken. You are learning. You are not alone. You are walking a path many have walked, many have overcome. Sometimes anxiety feels like it fills every corner of your life. But the truth is, there's still space inside you for peace, for hope, for joy. These things may feel distant now, but they are not gone. They are still yours, still within reach, still waiting to be chosen. Your anxiety doesn't get to write your story. It may have authored a few chapters, but the pen is still in your hand. and the next chapter 1 of clarity.com. And self-trust can begin whenever you decide to turn the page. So today, remind yourself, you are not your fears. You are not your panic. You are not your anxiety. You are awareness. You are choice. You are healing. And most of all, you are enough, exactly as you are. Asterisk panic feels like forever. In the middle of it, time stretches. Seconds feel like hours. Your heart pounds, your chest tightens, your mind screams. You think, this is it. I can't survive this. But you do. You always do. And that's not luck. That's proof. Panic cannot last forever because biologically, it's impossible. The human body is not designed to stay in a state of high alert for long periods. The chemicals that flood your system during panic, adrenaline, cortisol, have a short window. Eventually, they burn off. And when they do, your body begins to calm. Your breathing slows. Your heart settles. It always ends. Always, no matter how intense it feels. Panic has a peak and it always comes down. Even if your mind is still racing, even if your thoughts try to cling to the fear, your body knows what to do. It resets, and that natural reset is your built-in proof that this storm is temporary. But here's the trap. The mind doesn't always accept this. It remembers the fear. It replays the feelings. It creates stories that say, this time it won't stop. Or, what if it gets worse next time? That's anxiety talking. That's not your truth. Because no matter how many times it tries to return, panic has never stayed. Not once, not ever. And it won't start now. You've felt the edge before. You've heard the lies before. You've thought, I'm losing control, or I'm not safe, or I can't do this. But look at you. You're still here. You've walked through that fire. And every single time it passed. Yes, panic is uncomfortable. Yes, it's frightening. But it's also temporary. It's a wave, not the ocean. It rises fast, crashes hard, and then fades. And the more you remind yourself of that truth in the moment, the sooner it loses its grip. You don't have to stop the panic. You only have to ride it. Don't brace against it. Don't beg it to leave. Don't make it your enemy. A wave doesn't drown you if you float. So float, let it rise, let it shake. Let it move through you. But hold on to this truth like a lifeline. This will end. This has a limit. And you are strong enough to reach the other side of it. The moment you stop fearing, the panic itself, its power starts to fade. It feeds on resistance, feeds on fear. But when you meet it with understanding, when you remind yourself, I've been here before and I've made it through, that's when your calm begins to return. Maybe not instantly, maybe not perfectly, but steadily. There's no panic. Attack that lasts forever. There's no fear that doesn't pass. Even in your worst moments, your body is working to bring you back to safety. Even when you feel like everything is falling apart, your system is trying to reset. It's not failure, it's function, survival, it's human. Let this become your anchor. This is not permanent. This is not forever. This is just a moment. And moments pass. When your breath shortens, breathe slower even if it feels forced. When your thoughts spin, focus on one grounding truth. This will end. Not because you wish it would, but because it always does. You've survived 100% of your worst days. You've come through every panic you've ever felt. Not because you avoided it, but because you endured. And that endurance, that quiet, unshakable strength lives in you right now. So if the panic comes again, maybe it will let it. But don't run from it. Don't fear it like a monster. See it for what it is. A wave, a message, a moment. And nothing more. Because the truth is, you're not weak for feeling panic. You're powerful for moving through it. And every time it passes, you build more trust in yourself, more proof that you're not broken, more evidence that panic is temporary and you are not. You are steady. You are resilient. And this moment, no matter how heavy, will become one more reminder of what you can overcome.